bit about this during Handle on the News yesterday, but this had a little more information. So, it's a study from Assyrian. It shows a 20% increase from just 2 years ago in the amount of time that we actually go to check our phones. Now, this may be no surprise that the people of 18 to 24 in that range, that they check their phones more often than we do. How about this? Twice as often as we do. And you know what? I started thinking about this yesterday after the story came out, and I went, how many times do I check my phone? I check my phone because I don't like to leave the sound on a lot. So I constantly am checking it. And I started counting yesterday in an hour. And this was knowing that I was counting myself. I checked it 8 times in 1 hour. I'm not that important. Nobody needs to get hold of me that often. There's nothing going on specifically that, I'm waiting for a call or something, or, if I don't get that call, just something. No, it's just a habit. So bad. All right, how much money do you think that you're going to spend on Halloween this year? The National Retail Federation has predicted that Americans will spend an average $102.74 on the holiday this year. I'm not really surprised by that because I was at Costco last weekend, and I want to say that it was like $16 or something like that for a big bag of candy that you would hand out to kids. And, you don't want to be the guy in the street who hands out the bag of the $5 bag of the Dum-Dums and the Tootsie Rolls, although I would be happy as a clam if I was a kid to get that. But you want to be the guy that gives out the chocolate, right? So $110 or $102.74, that makes sense. That's $10 more than the average spent in 2020. And according to this, 65% of Americans are planning to participate in the holiday this year, compared to 58% last year. Jason Nathanson, I know you're on there. I want to say good morning to you first off. Well, thank you. Do you have any idea what the National Retail Federation says the most popular kids' costume will be this year?
I'm gonna go with Mike Pence.
You know what? It's old school. It's Spider-Man.
Yeah, okay.
Followed by princesses, Batman, and superheroes. Now, I'm sure you have Murrow, the dog, sitting there by you, right?
He's in the other room.
He's so sleeping.
Yeah.
This is why I like Murrow. Murrow's my kind of dog. All right, the most popular pet costume this year, any idea?
I'm gonna go with Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Well, not on the list, but clever. So, pumpkins, hot dogs, superheroes, and this one I think is just wrong. To dress your dog up like a cat.
That's awesome. I do like that. I like that better than a hot dog. A hot dog's weird. That's like weirdly cannibalistic.
Oh, it kind of is.
Yeah.
I hadn't even thought about that.
I don't like that one.
All right, so this is Jason Nathanson, entertainment reporter from ABC News. Let's talk about what's going on this weekend and a Sopranos prequel.
Yes. The Many Fates of Newark is here after being delayed. It was supposed to come out last fall, then earlier this year in March, and now it is here. It is streaming on HBO Max. It is in theaters. And, I think for Sopranos fans, I think it's great. When you have a show that is so beloved like that, and it went off the air 15 years ago, and to have something new come out is so awesome, I think. So people have been waiting for this for so long. I will tell you this going into it. Do not expect this to be a new Sopranos, like 2 episodes of The Sopranos back to back. This is a prequel, so it's 30 years earlier. You have a lot of the same characters. You see early Tony Soprano. You see his father, who is mentioned and you see in flashbacks in the series, but is not really a big character. You see his mom. You see his cousins and everything. But really, it's the story of Dickie Moltisanti, who is a figure who loomed large in Tony's life and maybe is the inspiration for him going into the mob. So it's more about Dickie Moltisanti than it is about Tony Soprano. So just know that going in right off the bat. And it is its own thing. This is not The Sopranos. Again, this is not a couple episodes of The Sopranos. If somebody put this out there and you didn't know The Sopranos existed, and somebody said, here, watch this movie, I don't know that you'd have necessarily that connection to the show. It doesn't.
Interesting.
It doesn't feel like the show. It feels like a mob movie set in the 60s, which we've seen. And unfortunately, this movie, I think, suffers from comparisons, too. The series itself, which was obviously award-winning and everybody loved, but also, you got a great film in Goodfellas, which was also set in the same era, about totally different things, but still, there are going to be comparisons because it's mafia, it's the 60s, and that kind of thing. So, does it stand up to the show? Does it stand up to Goodfellas? No, it's not as good as either one of those things. But there's still a lot to like there.
So you've still got, and in this one, for those Soprano fans, you're still going to have Michael Imperioli, right? He comes in and out?
He is, I don't want to ruin it. I mean, if you know the show, you know Michael Imperioli died in the show. So, you can, and this is set 30 years before the events of the show, when Michael Imperioli's character isn't really born yet. So, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't really make sense, but, I'm trying not to spoil things here.
Okay, yeah, okay, I get it. Okay, so, but he's, we might see him, is what you're saying.
No.
Even better. Oh, okay, this is even better. And then, so Dickie, though, is played by James Gandolfini's son, his real-life son, Michael, right?
No, okay. So Dickie Moltisanti is Michael Imperioli's character, Christopher Moltisanti's father. And he looms large in the series of The Sopranos, but we never actually see him or meet him. We don't know a whole lot about him. We just know he looms large as his character. So we get to see him and meet him and find out a lot more about what he is. Michael Gandolfini is James Gandolfini's son. He plays young Tony Soprano.
I get it. Okay.
Yeah, so like a 17, 18-year-old version of his dad. And I think people might have the impression that this is all about that. This is all about Michael Gandolfini and young Tony Soprano, and it's not. This movie is not necessarily. It's kind of an origin story for Tony Soprano, but it's mostly about other things.
Okay, your teaser on this one is amazing, and it makes me want to go literally be like, Jason, see you later, finish my show for me. I got a movie to go see. Seriously, this is amazing. Okay, Addams Family 2, it made me laugh when you talked about the creativity of the title of this movie.
It's called Addams Family 2. You couldn't say, like, Addams Family hits the road or something, because it's about a road trip. The Addams Family goes on a road trip around the U.S. That's literally the title of this film, which shows you maybe how much thought they put into it. I don't know. It was fine. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. But it wasn't something that I'm going to tell you got to rush out to see. That's in theaters and it's also on video on demand.
Okay, let's talk about The Problem with Jon Stewart. I think it actually aired last night, the first one, right?
It did. So that's a new show that's out where Jon Stewart now returns after, leaving The Daily Show and so much success. And I think a lot of people, he started basically, John Oliver wouldn't exist if it weren't for him. Stephen Colbert probably wouldn't exist if it weren't for him. And he started this thing of this kind of comedy news hybrid show where you actually get a lot of information, a lot of good information, while also being entertained. And so I think John Oliver has taken it to another level and has made his own thing, and it's fantastic. And what Jon Stewart is actually biting a little bit off of John Oliver, what he has set up, where John Oliver kind of takes on one issue every week, and really drills deep on that. And that's what Jon Stewart is doing. Instead of The Daily Show, which is, kind of headline interview, this is just Jon Stewart looking at one issue. The first issue being veteran care, and our U.S. military vets, and how, specifically when it comes to the issue of burn kits, which if you don't know about it, this has been mentioned a lot in the media, but I don't think it's gotten the coverage that a lot of people think it should, where basically we go into these countries like Iraq, and what do you do with all the trash that you generate on a military base? Well, you burn it. And it's a toxic stew that has really affected a lot of our veterans, and made problems for them. And so he kind of really goes in deep on this issue.
That's awesome. All right, Jason, thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend, and when Morrow wakes up, pet him for me.
I will.
All right, see you later. Have a good one. Goodbye. All right, we come back. We'll talk with KFI's house whisperer, Dean Sharp. We're going to get your house ready for fire season. You know, that fire season that we're currently in, that we're always in California, that fire season that never goes away. Dean has some updates for you in just a second. Right now, let's look at your drive on the 60.
As you make your way through the Hacienda Heights and Industry area, kind of rolling heights adjacent, still dealing with problems for your drive on the westbound side of the 60, past Azusa Avenue. It's a stalled-down big rigger box truck that's straddling the two right lanes, and that is why you're seeing a messy drive first thing this morning. Westbound 60 as you come away from Fullerton Road. 10 west is an alternate to the 60 westbound through the SGB St. Gabriel Valley off the 57 at the Kellogg Interchange. As you make your way toward the 605, looks like a much better drive. Now, well before that, still seeing a rough go of it for you on the 60 westbound to Ontario, off the 15 as you make your way toward Grove, although lanes are clear from an earlier wreck involving a big rig. Eastbound 60 still going for you from Archibald back toward the 15, and the westbound side of the 10 as an alternate to the 60 westbound. It looks like you've still got a problem involving a big rig there that has the two right lanes taken away. 3 left lanes are open. Heavy for your drive 10 westbound as you come away from Haven. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Nick Okini. Hey, it's Dean Sharp. You know, with energy costs rising and temps getting warmer and electric vehicles here to stay, I can't believe how many homes still don't have solar. Now, granted, there's a lot of misinformation out there, so my solar company, Sunlight, asked me to clear some of it up. First, solar doesn't cost you money. It saves you money. A lot of money. Second, it doesn't matter where your panels are made. What matters is who makes them. And finally, you hear about some system out there for $29.95, but that is not what is going to end up on your home. You know, it means something to me that all the partners at Sunlux left top-tier positions at other solar companies. Why? To do solar better. It's why Sunlux is an LG and Tesla Platinum contractor. The best systems, the best battery solutions, the best service, the best warranty, and a solar company who is straight with you from day one. Hey, it's time for solar. Get started today at sunlux.com. That's sunlux.com, sunlux.com. CSLB 1008374.
SoCal weather from KFI. Sunny today with highs mid-70s to low 80s at the beaches, mid-80s in Metro LA and OC, upper 80s to right at the low 90s for the valleys in the IE, and that's your forecast for the weekend. We lead local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee.
At Ralph's, fresh groceries are our thing, so we check your delivery order for freshness at every step from farm to store, and pick and pack every veggie in your free pickup order with care, because we treat your food the way we want ours to be treated. We're fresh every day, so shop anyway. Ralph's, fresh for everyone. Free pickup on orders of $35 or more. Restrictions may apply.
And right now, save on fresh jumbo avocados. They're the perfect topping for your tacos, and 2 for just $4 with your card. Ralph's, fresh for everyone.
There's never been a better time to switch to Spectrum Mobile. You could save hundreds of dollars on your mobile bill. Plus, there are no added taxes, hidden fees, and no contracts. Try the Spectrum Mobile Savings Calculator today, and in 3 easy steps, you'll see how much you could save by switching. Visit spectrummobile.com/save. Spectrum Internet required. Savings may vary. Restrictions apply. Visit spectrummobile.com/save for details. Want to get away? Discover Catalina Island, where you can stay close but feel far. For a limited time, stay 2 nights at any Catalina Island Company property and get your 3rd night complimentary. Book your next vacation at visitcatelinaisland.com. That's visitcatelinaisland.com.
Well, fall's officially here, which means stormy weather and cold temps for everyone not living in SoCal. And now, the top 5 reasons to visit Morongo. Number 5.
Into the Woods giveaway. You get a sweet hydration backpack when you earn 500 points on your rewards card before your 5th.
Number 4.
Get splashed with cash in the poker room. Every time a football team scores, we'll toss up to $100 cash in your table pot.
3.
It's National Taco Day at Fiesta Taco. Tacos are $3 or less on the 4th.
And the number 2.
Monster Mash. Just earn 500 points on your rewards card, and you're guaranteed to win up to $100 in cash or free swap play.
And the number 1 reason.
Football, baseball, basketball. Have a ball watching all the ball games on big screens everywhere you eat, play, and stay.
Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Morongo. Good times.
Call Jacob in the morning. Call Jacob.
KFI AM 640. Local. And our radio station.
Hey y'all, it's Dean Sharp. Today's Wake Up Call House Whisperer segment brought to you by Duffy Power. Go to DuffyPower.com. Never suffer through another power outage again. DuffyPower.com. DuffyPower.com.
Kfi Am 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Welcome to your Friday. We've got a little blurb of possible breaking news this morning from ABC7, and the reason that I say it's possible is because they say Governor Newsom is scheduled to make a major announcement this morning about school kids and COVID. So until he actually makes the announcement, we won't know how breaking it is. Many believe, though, that the governor could be ready to announce a vaccine mandate for all school kids aged 12 to 17 in the state. And members of the House are expected to continue talks over that $1.5 trillion infrastructure bill today. Progressive lawmakers have said they'll block the smaller bill unless the Senate first approves a larger social policy package. Dean Sharp, good morning to you. I want to start out with a double shout out to Duffy Power, because I think that Duffy Power has a product that you probably are going to mention in your fire season prep 2021. And I can tell you, as the daughter of parents who live in the middle of the forest, that a whole house backup generator is unbelievably necessary if you're going to live in that kind of wilderness.
Yes, good morning. And you're right. Backup generators are near the top of the list of things to talk about now when it comes to fire season in Southern California. Because, not just because of fires, but because power companies who have been indirectly or directly responsible for so many of the major fires that have been happening in the last few years, as we all know, are being extra super sensitive. I mean, we're having, public service power outages, every other week somewhere in Southern California. So it seems to be an unavoidable fact of life now, if you live here, that the power is going to be going out at least 2 or 3 times during the course of the year, in addition to it potentially going out if there is a wildfire or a major fire burning anywhere nearby. And power outages are incredibly disruptive, especially if you are now home-based with your business, if you're working from home, and if you've got medical conditions, equipment, medicines in the fridge, the list just goes on and on. And so as a result, a lot of folks are, I think, wisely turning to backup power solutions so that they don't have to be, on that roller coaster anymore.
Oh, yeah. I remember last year, it was my folks who got one of those, hey, you might get your power shut off or whatever, on Thanksgiving Day, and they were freaking out about, oh, God, how are we going to cook the meal?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they just come randomly when they come these days. There's just no way to gauge it. So, yes. And let me say this. We are spending this entire weekend talking about fire season prep. We're doing an update. I already did an entire weekend of shows about this. Some of our listeners are like, wait, didn't we do this back in April? Yes, we did. That's just the nature of where we are now in Southern California. That fire season, number one, is virtually year-round, about 9 months out of the year. But now we're entering into the most critical phase right now. So it behooves us to go back, take a look, and there have been these shifts and updates, like the growing necessity for backup power and things like that. So yeah, I'm not thrilled that I take 2 shows a year and dedicate it just to fire season prep, but at the same time, it's just such a necessity. We want to keep everybody safe. And the good news, Jen, is that if people take what we're saying to heart, there is really a fantastic chance that you're going to, protect your property. Because as I was discussing this bill on Wednesday, the facts are very interesting. 80% of homes that burn in a wildfire scenario during fire season do so because of just 2 reasons. Because of embers slipping into the attic and because of glass breaking as a result of heat up next to the house, and then fire entering the house. 80%. That's 8 out of 10. And so, and those are preventable elements of a fire scenario. So if people plan ahead, they can really go a long way toward not worrying about their house burning down.
I know one of the things that you talked about that I want to say a couple of years that you first mentioned were those fire preventive, I guess, vents around your roof to keep those embers out. And I've always thought, I need to get those. Why haven't I gotten those yet? But every time you do talk about this, honestly, Dean, and I mentioned this earlier in my tease to you coming up, I swear you could talk about this every quarter, because even if people go, oh, we already talked about that, I promise that if you're like me, you're going to listen and go, oh, yeah, but I haven't done that yet. I need to do that. If nothing else, it's a great reminder.
Yeah, it is, and it's necessary. So, it's just, so we're at it again this weekend, and that's where we're going. We're going to take a deep dive. There are some new technologies out there that are really encouraging as far as protecting windows. And I also want to talk about fire sprinklers. It's just something that talk about things that are outside of the norm of most people's thinking in regards to their homes. Fire sprinklers are now required for every new house build in the state of California, and or major remodels. And I'm glad, actually, because fire sprinklers, number one, are not expensive when it comes to overall square footage price retrofitting into a house. And their track record is amazing. I mean, we're talking about 90% fewer deaths, 57% fewer injuries, considerably less property damage, a massive reduction in homeowners insurance premiums, and nationwide, fire sprinklers put out most fires before the fire department even shows up.
Okay, now our old house had the fire sprinklers though, and I used to remember if I burned a candle, I always burned it way away from wherever the sprinkler was, because I was just sure, because of everything I'd seen on TV, that the minute smoke from my candle got to that sprinkler, I was going to flood the whole house.
Yeah, there are a couple of big myths still attached to fire sprinklers, and it comes thanks to TVs and movies. One is that something like burning a candle or a little smoke from a candle is going to set it off. Cigarettes, candles, burnt toast are not going to set off fire sprinklers. They are not smoke activated. They are heat activated. You have to have a fire burning in the room, reaching very, very large temperatures before the fire sprinklers go off. You don't have to worry about that. The other thing is the idea that every sprinkler in the house goes off at once. No, they are activated. They're a very simple system. There's a tiny glass vial holding back the water in each of the valves. That glass vial is filled with a fluid that bursts at a certain temperature, activating just that sprinkler head and that one only. Okay, so fire sprinklers are safe. They're pretty dang foolproof, and they save lives and property. They just do.
Okay, what about you would think that if I just water the place down, as in your landscape, you're outside, a fire's coming my way, I'm just going to miss the whole thing, and that's somehow going to save my house and help. But maybe not the case?
Yeah, a lot of folks, and I understand. People get creative. They think, I'm going to get myself set up to protect my house. So, and you can go online and you can find these emergency sprinkler setups, right? Freestanding, like rainbird type sprinklers, and they say, when the fire comes, put this on your roof, turn them on, or put them in your yard, and So let me just say this: keeping your landscape well watered is, in fact, a really important part of fire safety for your property. But on the day of the fire, I know of no fire protection organization, not CAL FIRE or any of your local fire departments, that actually recommend putting that big sprinkler out there for a couple of reasons. One, much of it is just gets evaporated in the heat of the fire. The mist, it just evaporates, so they're not that effective. And number two, the fire department, when they are fighting a fire in your neighborhood, they need all the water they can get. They would rather not have residents out there draining out the water pressure in your local neighborhood in a kind of a futile way, just trying to sprinkle a little extra water on your property. So there are far better ways to protect the house than turning the sprinklers on, especially when the fire department needs to get into your neighborhood and use all the water pressure they can.
That makes sense, and I know you'll go over all those other ways tomorrow morning between 6 and 8, and Sunday morning 9 to 11. Thank you as always, Dean.
Thanks, Jim.
Have a great weekend.
You too.
Thanks. All right, when we come back, I'm going to explain why Smith & Wesson is leaving Massachusetts and is going to take a shot. Oh, come on, I have this. At another state. And we've got some major allegations against Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin company. Apparently, it's not the best place to work, and good Lord. I remember last time I talked about McDonald's McRib, and I got ribbed by the crew of, how dare I speak poorly of the McRib? Oh God, I'm just going to tell you the McRib is bad. I'll tell you when you can get it. Nick Taliocchini, you a fan of the McRib?
Sure, why not? Who doesn't love compressed pork meat into a barbecue product?
You know, that's the thing. I bit into one time. I said, all right, I got to see what everybody's talking about. I was like, oh God, what is this? I mean, even if it was the nummiest thing I'd ever eaten, there was a texture thing going on.
Yeah, no, I do have to say, my grandfather passed away at 89. It was one of his favorite items, and it was because it was so soft and easy for him to chew with his dentures. So, it's delicious.
That's a lot.
But it says a lot. Texturally, like you said, I enjoy it. I love the barbecue sauce from McDonald's, so don't at me about this, but I'm just saying, it is definitely an acquired taste, and I think that's why it's got that cult following, that fan favorite situation going on. So.
I love the story of your grandfather. Oh my God. That I would be able to pass on. Nick Taliocchini's grandpa used to eat this because, and that was just further bolster my argument.
No, 100%. It was soft and easy, and if you didn't have your Polident in, it was easy to eat with dentures, so, yeah.
Okay, what's up on the 405?
It's Torrance, still dealing with major problems for you driving the southbound side of the 405 at Western. It's a crash that has the carpool and 2 left lanes shut down, and that's causing you some heavy delays first thing this morning as you come away from Artesia Boulevard. Also some looky-loose flowing showing up for the drive on the northbound side of the 405. As you come away from the 110 heading back toward Western, it's really going to be a rough go before you drive north and southbound through the South Bay. Now, updating your problem for your drive as you make your way to the Hacienda Heights area. 6 feet west before Hacienda Boulevard, still dealing with a stalled-out big rig or the large box truck that's straddling the 2 right lanes. That's going to be heavy for your drive, leaving Nogales. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Nick Taliocchini.
I'll tell you what the deal is with the McRib sandwich, Jen. It's everything that's wrong with America. That's all I'm going to tell you right there.
All right. Ever since Duffy Power, the generator people, became a sponsor here at KFI, we get a lot of questions about how home backup generators work, like we've been talking this morning. So here goes. They're going to evaluate your home. They're going to hook up the perfect generator to meet its needs. And then, when the next outage occurs, everybody around you is going to lose power, except you. Your generator automatically takes over. Life continues uninterrupted. When the power comes back on, the generator turns itself off. It's just that easy. What's also easy? 0% interest financing. Payments as low as $72 a month, which makes your emergency power totally affordable. Now, the pandemic, has everything in short supply. So don't wait. Call Duffy today. Make sure your life, your comfort, your safety won't be interrupted during the next outage or any of the ones after that. Dial pound 250 on your cell and say Duffy Power, pound 250 Duffy Power, or find Duffy on the web at duffypower.com. That's DUTHIE power.com.
This report is sponsored by Audible.
Work alone isn't enough. I need cash to hire some people and buy supplies. Loan Me Business is for people like you. We can loan your business from $6,000 up to $250,000. And we understand that you don't need the cash soon. You need it now. And if your credit isn't perfect, that's okay. Apply today and you can have the money in your account tomorrow. Loan Me Business loans have longer terms, keeping your monthly payments low and manageable. You can even pay the loan off early to control your costs with no prepayment penalties. That sounds great. Simply go to loanmebiz.com to get started. That's loanmebiz.com or call 844-3-LOAN-ME. Not all applicants will qualify. Approval and terms subject to credit standards. See loanme.com for details. Loans made pursuant to California Department of Financial Protection and Innovation Law License 603K061. That's 844-3-LOAN-ME or loanmebiz.com.
This fall, Audible is the best place to listen for everything you're into. From comedy to motivation to the latest bestsellers. Find it all at Audible with audiobooks, exclusive originals, and popular podcasts. Start listening free when you sign up at audible.com.
This is Chris Collinsworth. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings.
The Dodgers' last 5 home runs as they defeated the Chiefs against the Padres. They need
to win tonight against the Brewers to stay alive for the division title. Chargers quarterback Asante Samuel Jr. is your NFL defensive rookie of the month. Yesterday was Monday in a big divisional showdown. An halftime show at Super Bowl 56 in LA will feature SoCal native Dr. Dre, Big Dog, and Kendrick Lamar. Mary J. Blige and Eminem will also hit the stage. I'm Steve Jordan.
Download the DraftKings app and use code SPORTS to get a free shot at millions of dollars up for grabs this week with your first deposit. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply to DraftKings.com for details.
I'm Susan Allen, managing partner at OPO Law. And if you think all personal injury attorneys are alike, you'd be surprised. All law firms are not the same. OPO Law has a 98% success rate on over 10,000 cases we have handled. And while insurance companies continue to make lowball offers, we fight hard to get you the money you deserve. Substitute claims for you is our specialty. We don't settle your case for what the insurance company thinks it's worth. We settle your case for what we believe it's worth. For over 4 decades, we have gone to battle with the insurance companies and have obtained over $1 billion for injury victims. If you have been injured in an accident, dial pound 250, use keyword personal injury to connect to OPO Law. Remember, you don't pay until we win your case.
OPO Law, the law firm insurance companies fear most.
I'm Susan Allen, and I would be honored to handle your case.
In 2007, Marine First Lieutenant Travis Manning was killed in Iraq after saving his wounded teammates. Travis's legacy lives on through the 5 words he spoke before leaving for his final deployment. If not me, then who? Words that today feel the spirit of Travis Manning Foundation. Words that live in veterans, families of the fallen, and inspired civilians who go out of their way to find a way to help others with the help of others, who bounce back after each setback, who make good on good intentions. Who Travis Manning Foundation? If not me, then who? Are words that can live in you too. Show the world what your character is made of, because character is invisible until it's not. Find out how you can strengthen the character of your community alongside empowered veterans, families of the fallen, and inspired civilians at TravisManning.org. That's TravisManning.org.
And a high fly ball on the left center field. It's well hit on its way, and it's gone. It's a 3-run home run. October baseball is just around the corner, and you won't want to miss your chance to be at Dodger Stadium as the defending champs look to repeat history. 2021 postseason tickets are now on sale at Dodgers.com/postseason. The Dodgers are headed for October. Nobody can beat the Dodgers. Get your tickets today and be ready to get live.
Is your commercial fire system up to code? They alarm will keep